Welcome to African Horizon. Today I want to share some thoughts on what I think should become a future economic corridor stretching from West Africa to East Africa. We're already seeing emerging economic corridors in East Africa with railway corridors in Tanzania, Kenya, and Ethiopia being built. So now going forward, I think it would be really smart and wise and constructive to develop a strategic economic corridor all the way from Senegal and potentially also Guinea in West Africa, across Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Nigeria, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, South Sudan, and then extending into these emerging economic corridors in Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, via Uganda. And I think that will really be very important and vital going forward. The population growth across Africa is going to be very strong, in the coming decades. Therefore, I think it's going to be vital to create and transform the conversation by developing strong economic corridors, which would create a large number of job opportunities, which would create potentially, economic zones, special economic zones, logistics clusters within manufacturing zones, having international companies on the ground operating, in tandem with local companies, strengthening technical training, strengthening educational training in a range of zones. And that would be, I think, really transformative for economies across West Africa, across the Sahel region, across Central Africa and East Africa. And by developing an East to West Africa economic corridor, that would also strengthen, opportunities for international trade, the flow of logistics, and really be, I think, really something that would, totally transform the region in the future. Now, of course, this is going to take time, and there are many challenges and risks on the ground that would really need to be, navigated and really, mitigated in terms of risk development and risk management. But already there are many companies on the ground in Africa developing infrastructure in very rough regions. So there already, are many constructive, developments going on, but we really need to strengthen that focus going forward. Therefore, by developing an economic corridor from West to East Africa in the future, with a strategic master plan, African governments coming together and inviting international financial institutions, construction companies, railway companies, and really bringing on board the really strong companies with expertise in developing infrastructure corridors that have already been on the ground in Africa, I think that would be very constructive going forward. So I think this is important. So we really need to, think about changing the transforming the conversation about what is going to go on and develop in West Africa and Central Africa in the future. East Africa already has various, economic corridors under development, has strong, economic growth in various, regions, but really we need to continue developing going forward. So I think this is going to be important. Therefore, for international financial companies, international lending institutions, construction companies, railway companies, with African governments coming together, developing a strategic master plan, building an economic corridor from West to East Africa, I think would be completely transformative, and that would set, these regions for a contour and for really a transformative and upwards direction for the coming decades. So I think this is important to think about going forward. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to see you next week.